Hi, Patricia. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thanks, Jade. It's an honor to be on this call with you.
I've started this thing called coaching conversations because I think that it's for me. I'm always learning, but I love to have conversations with other coaches. And today, I'd love to introduce you or have you introduce yourself. Being that you've been in my life for over a year now, and I've grown so much from learning what you do and through our journey together. So if you could share how long you've been doing what you're doing and how you got started.
Well, it's been a long journey in a sense to get here. It started back in 2010. I had been diagnosed with breast cancer. And so it was not an easy journey. Along the journey of having a double mastectomy reconstruction, my first time driving, I just needed to get out because I was pretty independent. I went to uh I can't even remember what it was called, but it was a course where there's a whole bunch of booths and tarot card readers and coaches and that kind of stuff. I came across something called psychosomatic therapy, and it just drew me in, and I was needing to love and accept myself. So that is the basis of pretty much what most of us on this planet are lacking. We're lacking and living in fear and not loving ourselves. So I've been on this 10-year journey or more
13.
of learning learning to love and accept myself. And so have accreditation in psychosomatic therapy. I have done a few workshops with that, a 2 or 3 day sessions, and I've had clients, and I just completed my EAM accreditation.
What does that stand
So,
for?
energy alignment method. So energy, everything is energy,
Mhm.
and we can release it. We have auras and chakras and funnels. We hear everything. If you consider somebody who has PTSD, that is in the energy world, our aura is collapsed. So then it feels like we're right there in that traumatic event, whatever that event might be.
But
So
PST is can be anything, isn't it?
it
Like,
can be anything. It can be a traumatic event from childhood, and it might even not be that big of event to a really big event to somebody who goes to war. So it all kind of gets stored in our energy field. And it has been proven that when the egg and the sperm meet, there's the light enters. It's called zinc spark. That's when our Higg field begins. That's, to our own energy system. And so it's really exciting that I get to help clients to release some of that traumatic stuff and to get to the point where they can do it on their own. It's a simple 5-step process, and we can use it every daily. That actually, if you use it every day, it can benefit your whole life, from your business to your relationships to your health, and the whole array of everything that's going on in our lives. Along with, I add something called protanum NRF1, NRF2, and NAD. So it's activating our body so that we are bombarded with so many freaking toxins nowadays from all over, from products, from our food, from
all
the
environment.
from this computer that we're on to the household things we have in our house. We need to help our body because, man, oh man, and yet I don't think we can do one without the other. We need to take care of our energy, our body, mind, soul, along with helping with the products into our bodies. That's what I'm about.
And it's funny you should say about energy because I'm noticing more and more of great leaders like Dr. Joe Dispenza, as an example, how he's sharing his mission even with like greater passion, I feel right now, because energy, it's almost like an evolution of energy. This is how we are, as people raise their energy vibrations, that's a new, becoming more and more aware that that term. What do you feel that that really means in our consciousness, we'll say, like raising our energy vibration?
Well, I've watched so many different gurus,
Yeah.
as you would say. One of the big things is, to me, the earth itself, Mother Earth. If you connect to indigenous people, that's where they what called Mother Earth, Father Sky. So you have to raise with it. Happens is, I think that we are allowing the energy to move up forward, and then we're not so much in fear,
Mm,
because we're moving from fear to love. And I think it is the driving force of everything right now, because we hear it, we feel it, it's coming from everywhere. And I really feel that the light is bringing up all the darkness that we see in the world.
mm,
Because you can't let it go, whatever that might be, until you see it.
like process it,
Yeah,
be
walk
aware of
through
it.
it.
Mm,
I like to say walk through it, because there's been a war on cancer, there's been a war on drugs. All it does is, that to me has made it worse. We need to walk through the process so we can feel it and let it go.
mm,
And once you feel it and let it go, then the fear's not there anymore. I've had the death conversation, and I tell you, it's not easy. I woke up the next day with the biggest cold sore in my life.
mm,
And it's made, I don't stress out that much anymore. It's
mm.
just like everything happens when it's supposed to and for a reason.
So when you say walk through it, it's like confronting the fears or getting out of a comfort zone or just facing it, being aware of it so that you can get to the other side. Is that what you mean by letting go?
Yeah, like if you walk through it. So for me, my example is walking through cancer. I personally, through the somatic world, you don't want to fight it, because then your body's also going into the fight flight mode. And
Yeah,
then, so that to me adds more stress on your body, and
cortisol.
right? So we want to breathe. Breath is so important. We need to breathe into things, feel them, and let them go.
Mhm.
Because once that fear of dying, let's say, is gone, it's like, okay, it's not so bad. Then the fears of all the other stuff that's going on in the world is like, we'll be okay. We come from light. We're all light.
And we're all going to die at some stage, and we're not guaranteed tomorrow, right?
Right.
So
Mhm.
letting go of the fear allows one to live more in the present, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And that's important.
Well, and allow yourself to be in flow state, to allow flow. And it doesn't always work. Everybody's a human, and you go back in and out. And when you're there, it feels so lovely.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can see it on your face. You're in flow. You're in flow. That's wonderful. Now, do you have a way of people contacting you or a website or that type of thing so that they could learn more?
I have a website, activationenergyhealing.com. Or you can reach me at activationenergyhealing@gmail.com.
Okay, great. And you're also on LinkedIn, of course, under.
I'm on LinkedIn, just under my name, Patricia Dalgleish.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on to have a chat with me. I had a chat yesterday with a couple of coaches from Health Coaching Institute, And, you know, we are all certified from the same place as health and life coaches, dual certified. And it's kind of funny. I forgot to actually talk about how people get a hold of me and where I got my slogan from. You know, like with yours, with your activation energy healing, that also comes from your EAM certification and your somatic work, and of course with the Protandem products to activate our cells, because I am also
Yes.
on them. Thank you very much, because that introduction with you know, NRF1, NRF2, and NAD, I have seen the light inside of me. So I appreciate that. But you know, it's something that my husband and I just kind of want to go off on a tangent here, is when we first got together back in the mid 2000s, you know, and we were, you know, kind of doing it all, getting it all done. You know, busy days, very fulfilling days. You know, we were both co-parents with our ex-spouses, but we were, you know, like a happy family, you know, with his two kids and my two kids. Yes, they got us together. So they couldn't complain. But, you know, we came up with the slogan, living on 10. And you know, so I mean, we had this domain. We said, let's get a domain, livingon10.com, because for us, evaluating our day, you know, or our emotions, you know, as a life coach, you know, I say to my clients, well, you know, how does that feel to you? You know, out of 10, give it a, you know, a rating, right? You know, 1 low, 10 high. You know, living on 10. And so that's kind of where I got the phrase from, is from my own life. And I know in your EAM, you also rate how a feeling is, right?
Mhm.
You know, or through, you know, sway tests or whatever, like, how does this feel to you? And I think more people need to have that check-in. And
On a
as
daily basis.
yeah, well, even more often, because
Yeah.
when we find ourselves kind of going to a little dark place and we're looking for the light, if we can kind of look at that dark place and say, hold on a sec, where am I? Where am I on the scale from 1 to 10? Oh gosh, this is feeling like a 3. I got to get out of there. But even the awareness, well, how do I bring it up to a 10? You know, or oh, I have the tools to bring it up to a 10. Because that's, I think, what coaches like yourself and I and others, that's what we're here for, is to help guide people out of that darkness, out of that pain, out of the fear, right?
And give them tools so that they can empower themselves. Yes, I think as coaches, we're here to guide them through a big part of it, maybe a big hurt or a big trauma, but then give them the tools so that they can continue the journey.
Hmm. Well, I know I've sure enjoyed our journey together.
Yes.
Yes. And so I would like to invite you to have another conversation fairly soon, if that's okay with you.
It sounds wonderful, Jade. It's very much appreciate our friendship, our connection on a coaching level, and just adding light to our lives with
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah. Thanks. I appreciate you. We'll chat soon.
You bet.